Hey guys, it's Xander here, and we're back looking at Brews in Standard. Now this is a deck I've been fooling around with ever since I saw Rat Colony and Tetsuku leaked, and I've seen a couple of people tackling it, but this is my version of the deck. So we'll just go over the deck and the interactions and go over the sideboard, and I hope you guys like the deck. So we're starting off with the namesakes of the deck, which is Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive, which is for 2, 1 and 1 blue, a 1/3. Legendary creature human rogue, but the cool part of this creature is creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Now where that becomes relevant is with the second part of the namesake, Rat Colony, which is for 2, a 2/1. So it's got the 1 toughness, so it can't be blocked. But Rat Colony gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control. A deck can have any number of cards named Rat Colony. So if you're familiar with Relentless Rats, this is essentially a one cost cheaper, but it's lacks in toughness and doesn't get the defense. But that just means that it's going to keep getting +1 the more rats we have, and it's always going to be unblockable. So it scales out and gets pretty stupid after we get a few rats out. So we're running a 4 of the Tetsuku, and we're running a 12 of Rat Colony. So it's perfectly that because of the rule on the card. We're also running a 4 of Glintsleeve Siphoner, which is for 2, 1 and 1 black, a 2/1 human rogue with menace. So it can't be blocked except by 2 creatures. But when Glintsleeve Siphoner enters the battlefield or attacks, you get 1 energy. And then the last ability on the card is at the beginning of your upkeep, if you pay 2 energy, you can draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. So, yeah, card advantage. It's a 2/1, so it's unblockable with Tetsuku. Yeah, it's a wicked card. It's been a staple in a whole lot of decks, so it's definitely going to slot into this one. Because we want to be able to draw into the rats as often as possible, so there's quite a lot of card draw in this deck. On the high side of the curve, we've got Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, which is, it's in here because it's a cool card, and we're often going to have Tetsuku out, so it shouldn't be too hard to play it. So it's for 5. Put 1 target creature or planeswalker card in your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So, sorry, put 1 target from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker, and exile Vile Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. So this is a really cool card. It's there to get more rats. It's there to get Glintsleeve if we need it. It's there to, we can't play it if we haven't got Tetsuku out, which is the biggest downside to it, because it's a legendary sorcery, so we need a legendary to be able to cast it. But being able to destroy a creature or a planeswalker at a 5 cost and get a creature back, it's 2 for 1, and yeah, it's a really good card. So I'm going to try running into a 2 of. You could probably cut it for something better, maybe put more removal in. It's just in there to be a little bit janky, and yeah, it's won me a few games. So going on to the more spell side of stuff, we're running a 4 of Negate because we want to cover our creatures as often as possible. We don't want Tetsuku to die, and we want as many of our rats to live as possible. So when they go to play your sweepers, that's when you hit Negates. When they go to play Settle the Wreckage, Fumigate, all these control spells, that's why we're running a Negate and a 4 of. So it's just for 2, instant spell, counter target non-creature. So Charter Course in a 4 of, which is for 2, it's sorcery speed, which is a bit shit, but you draw 2 cards and then discard a card unless you attacked with a creature this turn. We're always trying to go on the offensive with this deck, so we're not often going to be discarding a card, but it is going to be getting us more card advantage, so it's, yeah, good card. Opt, which is for 1 blue, at instant speed, you scry 1, and then draw a card. So you look at the top card, if you don't want it, you put it to the bottom, so it fixes your draw, and then you can draw an additional card. Card filtering, card advantage, it's great. We're running in 4 of. We're running a little bit of removal in 3 Cast Down, which is for 2 instant speed, destroy target non-legendary creature, and 3 Fatal Push, which is for 1, destroy target creature if its converted mana cost is 2 or less, and then Revolt, destroy target creature if its converted mana cost is 4 or less, instead if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. So we're not hugely fussed about Revolt, because Fatal Push hits a whole lot of stuff in the format already, and Cast Down hits a whole lot of stuff as well. So it's just value removal. You could probably run more of it, as I said, but as it is, I want to stay low on the curve, stay low to the ground, keep playing at rats. Yeah, it works well so far. I'm also running a silver bullet copy of Essence Scatter because you're always going to find that one creature in your opponent's deck that you just don't want to resolve. And outside of negates not being able to target creatures, and if it's a legendary and it's expensive and Fatal Push can't hit it, yeah, Essence Scatter is in there to just deal with like your Hazarets, your Scarab Gods, your whatever else. So yeah, just running as a silver bullet. Running a 5 swamp, just 5 basic swamp. A 4 of Drone Catacombs, which comes in tapped unless you control an island or a swamp, but it's taps for blue or black. I'll just bring it up here so we can see it. We're also running Fetid Pools in a 4 of, which is the cycle land which comes in tapped, but it's got tap added blue or black. It's an island swamp. Running a 3 of Island, a 2 of Scavenger Grounds straight off the bat because I hate graveyard matchups. And yeah, it seems to work well in the deck regardless. 2 tap sack a desert, exile all cards from all graveyards. So the Fetid Pools isn't a desert. I'm only running the one more desert, and it's the Desert of the Mindful, which is the cycle blue for 2. So that's the land package. Let's get these back. We'll check out the sideboard. As you can see here, we're running a bit of discard, a bit out of removal, a little bit of graveyard hate in the Sentinel Totems. Comes in, scry 1, tap sacrifice it, exile all cards from all graveyards. Running a 3 of Knight of Malice because First Strike is important, and the Hexproof from white could also be important depending on the matchup. We're never going to get the set, so it's for 2 or 2/2 with First Strike and Hexproof from white. But the bottom bit we're never going to get because we don't have white, so we don't really care about that. But yeah, the 2/2 for 2 First Strike is good. Playing a 4 of Duress, which is for 1 sorcery speed. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land, non-creature, and that player discards it. So it's against control matchups, against whatever you want. If you feel you want the Duresses out there, yeah, it's a solid card. Vraska's Contempt in a 4 of, which is for 4, 2 and 2 black, and instant speed, exile target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 2 life. So this is the ones that you swap out the edicts for, or the, what have they got? The offering. Yeah. If you need the extra removal in the deck, if the stuff you got in there isn't working, then throw these in there, and yeah, it'll make it a whole lot easier for you. We're also running a 2 of Lost Legacy, while it's still in standard. So it's for 1 and 2 black. You sorcery speed. Name a non-artifact, non-land card. Search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any cards of that same name and exile them. That player shuffles his or her library and then draws cards for each card exiled from his hand this way. So yeah, this hits a whole lot of stuff. Literally anything that is an artifact or a land. If you know what you're playing against, which if you're playing standard, you probably do already. This will get rid of the Scarab Gods in the deck. This will get rid of the Gearhulks. This will get rid of Valeras. This will get rid of a whole lot of stuff. It's a wicked card. We're just going to run it as a 2 of. So, or this will shut down approach decks completely. You can just call out approach before they even get to play it. So it's a wicked card. So that's the deck. As always, if you like the deck, let me know in the comments. If you didn't like the deck, let me know in the comments. If you think stuff's missing or whatever else, just let me know in the comments. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications to see new videos when I do them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys in the next one.